What's up, everybody? It's your favorite young, angry man's favorite nerd, and today we are looking at Star Wars Black Series General Hux and Asty. I think Asty the Nasty. You know what I'm saying? What? Anyway, how you doing? We're gonna do these two. The reason why I say young, angry man is because a lot of these Star Wars villains for this sequel trilogy seem to be young, angry men, which I can't say I don't relate to. All right. Trying to check the YouTube feed. How do all these guys get all these prototypes and I don't ever get them? Never get any of this. No. All right, General Hux. Head is on a ball hinge, as we've come to expect. The coat is a soft plastic. It's just the middle piece, like the sleeves are sculpted. It's a pliable plastic. You can take it off as well, and it doesn't really, I guess it does. It doesn't totally destroy the mold. Just a little bit. But why would you want to take it off? It's a cool trench coat. Hat is all sculpted. That's tampered on. That looks good. Eyes are painted. They're not painted extremely well. I'm not sure if, they're painted fine for the line, but if you guys have seen that article that went viral where people have been painting Black Series faces and making them look like incredible, something worth looking at. The Rey one looks fantastic. But one problem is that this bottom part here is I guess they had to do it, but it's the flesh tone painted on top of the black. So the creases are very evident, and it looks like it could have used a second paint coat, and it's not the best paint job to begin with. It gets a little bit on the collar there. That side's done much better. The inside here is all sculpted. All these little rivets and details and stuff, they're all sculpted, as is the line work and the coat and stuff. The torso is on a ball joint. Good swivel, a little bit front and back, a little bit side to side, but not really worth noting, but you can do angled stuff fairly well. Arms are on ball hinges, or ball discs, whichever you prefer. This one's a little loose. This one's alright. I don't mind it, to be honest. It looks like it moves more fluid. Because it's not like it won't hold a pose. It's just like there's no tension there, whereas this one has tons of tension. This one's probably arguably done right. Tampered paint there on the shoulder. That looks good. No bicep swivel, as we've come to expect, but we have the elbow hinge, and that works okay, a little bit less than 90 degrees, but pretty close. For a character like this, I don't think it's that big of a deal. We got silver paint on the cuff here, which is done okay, but I guess they figured, why stop there, and threw a little silver paint up on the forearm too, which is less than desirable. And then we have the glossy black there for the glove, which is a good color breakup and a wise choice. Also, the wrist is on a swivel here and a hinge in and out, and same hinge on the other side. It does irritate me that he has two holding hands with only one weapon. I'd much rather have opposing hand. This hand is like kind of opposing hand, so it's not that bad, but it's a little too close to a holding hand for my liking. Same for the other side, except no silver paint on the forearm. Probably because it's just a uniform marking thing. So as a added bonus, you get no mistakes on the upper forearm. The belt, you get the silver painted on there, which is done kind of haphazardly for just being like one little rectangle they had to paint. You get silver coming off here on the side. Soft plastic piece here for the bottom of the shirt, which hides the joints, which is nice for T-jointed ball joints, which hold the thighs. You get them out to there. Up to there, so this softer plastic doesn't really get in the way at all. Back to there, so it all works fairly well, and it hides the seams fairly well, so I do commend them for that. All the pants and stuff are all sculpted. All the wrinkles and stuff are sculpted. Looks good. And probably has some reuse potential for moths and stuff if they want to do that in the future. Thigh swivel just below the joint here at the hip, Marvel Legends style, works just fine on both sides. I will say that initially they were a little tight, but once they kind of gave, they gave all the way. Double jointed knees, which work fine. Down to glossy boots. All the wrinkles and stuff in the boots look good. I think that the easy way to do it, because they're boots, they could have got away with it, was just straight, like a straight design without sculpting all these wrinkles and stuff in. But they did it, and it looks pretty good. So well done. And has the glossy finish, which is a nice breakup. The ankles are on a tilt hinge, which works fine, all the way back to there, up to there, which is good. And then the rocker is at the swivel on the hinge. So that looks good. All in all, not too bad. But I guess I should talk about his accessory, which is this handgun. No holster for it, which is okay, but it does have different finishes on the black, and the silver is painted. Single sculpt, but on that side, and the silver is painted pretty well. Not on this side, which is a little weird. Because it seems to be an exact copy on both sides, that just only one's painted. It might be a mistake. If you have this guy, let me know if both of your sides of your... That just looks like they forgot it. Oh, I didn't notice it before, now it's going to irritate me. Oh well. Let me know if yours is like that. This is Asty the Nasty, and he's up to no good. He comes with a fair bit of accessories, and I found a little bit of a chink in the armor here, so to speak. But he comes with this handgun, or blaster, or blast pistol. It's got a silver, like a coppery finish on it, and then it's got some black wash on it as well in certain places, and silver paint at the tip, so that's pretty good. And then it holsters in this side holster here, which is dry brushed on top, right up in there. So that's pretty cool. He also comes with this helmet, which just comes off and on. Translucent plastic there. All the tampered paint looks good. Looks a little worn. The yellow gets a little carried away right there. But overall, it looks pretty good. And even the mistakes in the paint just look kind of like battle damage and stuff. So I think it works fine. It's really good tampered paint work all along there. And then the translucent visor. And then we get to him. Beautiful head sculpt, I think. Eyes are painted fairly well. Probably could be done better. One eye is kind of looking at a squirrel, and the other at a groundhog. But what are you going to do? They got the base color, which is like this beige plastic or tan plastic, and then it has like a black wash over top. The pink is added in. The eyes are painted, and that might be it. It's on a ball hinge. You don't get much out of it due to the sculpt of the head. The paint gets carried away from here on this white bit that gets all up in the collar. Doesn't continue there to fill in that void. All on the side of the coat here, blatantly on the side of the coat there. So that's less than favorable. Upper ball hinge for the torso, which gets you the swivel. A little bit down, a little bit up, not much. Not really anything side to side either. And then the white paint is on there. This is painted really well, this box on there. Ball hinge shoulders or ball disc, depending on what you'd like to call them. No bicep swivel, but you get the elbow swivel with a single hinge. That gets you just less than 90 degrees, and for a pilot, I think that's okay. Wrist swivel and a hinge. 2 holding hands with 1 accessory. You know I hate that, but you can have him hold his helmet. And I think I have pictures at some point, but like you can have him holding his helmet like this and put him in like a relaxed pose on a shelf, and he's going to look great. You get this floating piece of plastic at the waist, which is this gray piece, and it comes down with these 2 straps. They meet down here in the back, connect back up. These belts are then painted on top of the pelvis, but I guess they just stop there and then go inside the suit, so that's fine. And they're painted fairly well. The gray gets a little on the beige there, but what are you going to do? This wrist also swivels and hinges on the in and out. And then the holster's on there. This tube goes into there and then into there. Same as Poe. We're going to talk about that here in a minute. And then T-jointed ball joints for hips. That's pretty good. Definitely not hateful. Thigh swivel. This moves with it. Really smart design. All the wrinkles and stuff and sculpted both in the arms and in there. All the textures in the suit and so forth. Double jointed knee, which isn't the prettiest, but it's not the worst either, to be quite honest. And the single hinge can get you that, or you can bend it at the upper hinge and get you that, which looks a little bit more natural. Leather strap painted down there on the bottom with the gray, and that looks fairly well done. This side, not so much. All over there. Silver's painted okay. Ankles, we got the tilt. Doesn't go back very far, though. You do get a good bit up, and then the rocker's built in, so that's fine. All the sculpt work on the feet looks good as well. And that's it. Size comparison-wise, he's a bit taller than Poe. Now, the reason why I wanted to bring Poe out is because at first glance, you'll think this is a repaint for the most part, but it's not. Everything is different. Even like the knee pads here. Even like the belts and stuff, it's not. I've seen people say that it's a reuse, but it's all new mold. That's crazy. I don't know how they do it. Actually, I do, and I told you guys I'd talk about it. So I got a little bit of inside information. I can't talk about who that person is or what his connection is, but it's a trusted source. And what he said is, for instance, let's take a look at Venom. These reviews will be coming soon. I got them. I just haven't had a chance to do them yet. Shout out to Tyler. So, all right. What we have here is little to no sculpt work on a buck that's been well used, and then the paint of this, which we'll talk about later, and then a new head sculpt. Teeth aren't sculpted. We'll talk about that later too. You believe, you me. And then what we have here is pretty much a completely new mold and tons of paint and tons of love and everything else. Now, both at the same price point. How are they able to do it? I said we talk about it, and here's the answer. What the guy told me is that the success of this line is dictating the cost that they're willing to spend on it. So he gave me a ton of information, but in layman's terms, for every one Marvel Legend that they sell, they're selling 10 of these. So the profit margins are larger, so they're able to invest more back into it. So just interesting food for thought. I think somebody was pretty right in their prediction that they said. Calf swivel, hate it. And here's a size comparison with Black Series Hux and Kylo Ren. And I really wanted you guys to see that because they fit in quite nicely together. Good stuff. Pretty seamless. That's not accurate there. That's side by side. So that's good. I like it. Final thoughts wise, I feel like we're starting to see some wheels fall off some wagons here. Just in the sense of paint. Like they're adding tons of paint, which I commend them for. We didn't get a lot of the washes on this paint, which is okay. But more importantly, we're seeing paint spill over everywhere on both. And the Hux doesn't even have that much paint. So that is something that I would advise them to be mindful of. Like, I know they got plenty more coming. I know they have plenty invested in this Star Wars line. I mean, I'm sure it's raking in money by the tens of millions. But I would advise that don't lose sight of the quality, because I've always taken my hat off to this Black Series with how much they've put into sculpt detail and paint detail. And they're still putting the same amount into it. It's just the quality control doesn't seem to be as high. So I would advise to just... If you're in the market for these guys and you come across some boxes, look through the boxes, try to pick the ones with the best paint applications on there, because I would imagine that they do vary from piece to piece, and that some will be better than others. But there's just there's a lot more mistakes on these two, and even the ones that we looked at last week than I've seen with the line. But that's what I was talking about. I do love that pose. I have him holding on to that little bit there and having the helmet in the other hand. Like, that's gonna look good on the shelf, Mac. But there's plenty of positives here too, especially in the sculpt work. The sculpt work is continuing to impress me. Like, all the little wrinkles and lines and stuff, and his facial features, like, they're all sculpted in. Like, that's really top shelf stuff. If that's a sign of things to come, I mean, I can't express how excited I am about where this line has the potential of going. Articulation's all pretty much okay, or at least par for the course. All the accessories, the use of soft plastics and stuff like that, smart decisions after smart decisions, so I definitely commend them for that. All the tampered paint is looking great. It's just that those paint applications that are more wider spread, and then hopefully that's not an error. Hopefully everybody's is like that, because if that's an error and just on mine, that's going to be an issue. Shout out to my brother Alex for getting me this fella. He found him for me, hunted him down, and that was the one I'm missing from the wave. And I got more coming. I got the Jango Fett and them coming soon, so we'll take a look at those. And Pinkerton hooked me up with those. If you're an IG guy, you know about Pinkerton. We'll talk more about them during that video. But either way, I think these guys are definitely worth picking up. Just look through the batch, see if you can't find the best of the bunch, and make smart choices. You know, collect responsibly and respect collectively. How you like that? How you like them apples? Nailed them both, if you know what I'm saying. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Until next time, take care. Nasty Assy coming at you.